Hey, it's Jase, and we are live. So on Speaking with Jase, welcome. It is good to see you guys, and it's been a while since I've been on. So, some quick things. As usual, at the beginning, we'll allow people to give a minute to get on. I need to look over here and make sure the stream is being shared out correctly and effectively. And today, I want to talk about how important your story is today and how important your time is, and then also some ideas for things for you guys and what you can be doing to impact and grow your business in this time. So please say hi, and if you think it's appropriate, like and share the stream so that we can help more entrepreneurs, more coaches, more people who want to make a difference in the world to actually make a difference in the world, and to provide some hope, some love, some joy, some goodness in this time. So all of you joining the stream, hello, welcome. Also, please make sure that you allow StreamYard to see who you are and to see your name. So when you do comments, we can see who you are. So let me, I'm looking over here just to make sure that I've got the stream is going and that everybody's able to share. So hi guys, let me know who's watching, who's here. Let's see, do some shout outs. We have Betsy's on, Laura's on. Hi, Laura. Good to see you. Laura says hi. Laura, and you even allowed StreamYard to see your name. You rock. Nice to see you, Laura. So some updates and some things. Boy, oh boy. I don't know about you, but I'll just put it like this. I was talking to one of my business coaches today, and yesterday and today. We had like 2 long sessions. And yesterday he's like, look, can I tell you straight? And I'm like, yeah, man, that's why I hire you. He's like, and I was describing how I feel like I have been like this, up and down with everything that's going on. And that my motivation has come and gone. My excitement level has come and gone. My getting stuff done has come and gone. My desire to eat well as opposed to eat everything that's made of sugar has come and gone. Like everything has been like this. And really that's true. It's just been this up and down wave, and it's just not effective. And I look at what's going on, and I'm very heart-centered in what I want to do for and with people. And so one of the things for me is I can't sell people something that I don't believe in. And I can't sell people something like if I sell someone speaker coaching, but I don't believe that they can make money with it or it's going to impact their business, I'll have a real hard time selling it. And so I've been looking at the economy, I've been looking at what's happening, and I've been going through the motions of how can I, with integrity, sell this stuff? How can I, with integrity, offer this? And what I realized is, and here's a big belief I have, when you have a breakthrough, the evidence to support the breakthrough shows up. It's rarely the opposite. Rarely in life do you have all this evidence show up and then you have a breakthrough. It's more like there's got to be something that stirs inside and a breakthrough that happens inside you. And then out of that space, evidence shows up. So here's the breakthrough I had. And by the way, let me get some more highs going out to people. We got a bunch of people tuning in right now. Unfortunately, I don't see your names on here. So please pop up and say your names and say hi, you guys. It just shows me that how many people are watching. So here's the breakthrough that I had. There is going to be, and there is money that's going to be spent. The economy may take whatever kind of hit it does, and certain sectors may take whatever kind of hit. But even in the Great Depression, there was still money. There was, 20% unemployment, but that means 80% were still employed. Entertainment still went ahead. But the things they didn't have back then is what we're using right now. There was no such thing as an internet. And this is the game changer, because no matter where you are in the world, you can reach just about anyone in the world. And that means there's a possibility and an opportunity for you to do sales around the world. So for instance, last night I was messaging with someone. I did a webinar 2 years ago, and someone bought my home study kit on one-to-one sales. And this guy's a doctor in Hong Kong. So we've kept in touch, and we've been talking about, hey, how are things going over when they were having the protests? And now with the lockdown, how's everything going? And so his dissertation, or his focus of study for his doctorate, was stress. So now he wants to position himself as a stress expert. And so we're going to have a conversation tomorrow about how I can help him get products launched and help people deal with stress in the workplace at home. So my point in sharing that is he's all the way in Hong Kong and I'm here in Boise, Idaho, Northwest United States, and we're going to have a conversation about how we can work together. And so for you, if you have a business or an expertise that can be leveraged to get online, now is the time to do it. So what confirmed that, so I had that breakthrough about that. And then I talked to him. And then what really confirmed it is today, I saw a post from a woman who's a chiropractor. And she said she's really only seen like 3 people in the last week, but that has made her focus on getting her online courses going. And so I'm glad to see that because almost everyone has some kind of an expertise that they could share online. And what I want to share with you guys today is what is that what are the steps and what do you need to do to get your expertise shared online? And how do we make it as simple as humanly possible for you to get online and to share this stuff? So let me do some other hellos and welcomes to the show. Adam Sternberg is on. Adam, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you. Adam is a corporate photographer. He's got one of the biggest corporate photography companies in Vegas. I think Adam Vegas has shut down, so he's felt that. And I know Adam has so much wisdom to share. I'd love to see him online. Who else we have? We have Bridget on here. Good to see you. Tammy Nelson. Good to see you. Mario Perez. Hi, Doris. Welcome. David Strang, good to see you. Or David, good to see you, my man. And John Dale Stanley, good to see you. So here's the components you need in order to really rock sales and get stuff going online. One, you need to have something people want. So how do you figure that out? One of the quickest things I recommend you do is start coaching people one-to-one. When you want to make a group coaching program, start coaching one-to-one. And I don't care how much you charge people. I want you to just charge any amount. And I want you to ask these 2 questions of everyone you have a sales conversation with and everyone that you have a coaching conversation with. And it's 1, what are your 3 biggest challenges? And 2, what are your 3 biggest goals? And start tracking what challenges people have and notice where there's an overlap. And if you can build a product or service or tie your product or service to their challenges, then it's going to be valuable. If everybody has a challenge and you can help them beat that challenge, they're going to buy from you. Second, you want to ask them what they want, and you want to start looking for commonalities of goals and then figure out how can you help people get what they want. If you can put together a product or service that helps people get what they want, then you're golden. So, and the beauty of doing it this way is your home study course will be built on what your audience has told you is important to them. And there's no better way to do it. It's just build it on what's important to them. And how do you know they're going to buy it? Because they told you it's important to them. So it's really simple. So that's 1. 2, now let's talk about structuring the course and putting it together. Well, your first few times teaching it, you're not going to be really great at it. So I want you to start just teaching it and get it out there. Do it in a small group. You can get Zoom for $15 a month, get people in a small group, do it over a space of weeks. And you could script out what you think people need to know and come up with 6 to 8 lessons. And then what's going to happen is when you teach your course, people are going to ask you questions. And there's really, I find, no better way to write compelling courses and to really dial in your messaging than delivering it live with people. Because what will happen is you'll think this one concept is the most interesting concept in the world and like everybody will dig it and you're going to teach it and the audience goes, meh. And then like you throw it away or you make it just shorter and you'd be like, hey guys, you need to know this, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time. And then you'll have another concept that you won't think will be that interesting. And they're going to be like, oh, I love it. And then you're going to be like, holy crap, people really like this. And so then what will happen is you'll share more about this concept in your marketing. You'll share about, you're going to talk about this concept during the intensive. And this will get more people to buy, as well as it'll be a more enjoyable, richer training because it's something people are really, really, really into. So that's the second part, is just start doing it live. And then what will happen too is you'll come up with better stories. You'll come up with ways to overcome objections. You'll come up with exercises. So you want to do it a couple of times, whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many, and you just start teaching it. And I love doing it. Sorry, Betsy just felt by. I got totally distracted. I love teaching it one-to-one or in a small group, because when you have that interaction and you can talk with people and develop the content, it's going to get richer. What people don't think about a lot is when you start to deliver your courses like on a recorded class for 6 to 8 weeks or on a Zoom with a whole bunch of people, there's going to be less interaction and it can be really disconcerting. It's a weird skill to be able to talk to a camera with no feedback and to keep going. It can be the first few times you do a webinar or a seminar like that, it's just the weirdest thing because you're so used to talking. I'm used to talking one-to-one or in small groups before, and I'd be like, does this make sense? And then they give me their feedback and I hear where they are and, oh, okay. But then when you start doing it with just the camera, it's a totally different animal. So, all right. So first, start doing sales conversations, asking people what are their 3 goals, what are the 3 challenges. Second, script it out, make 6 to 8 weeks of what you think they need to learn. Through teaching the 6 to 8 weeks in a small group or one-to-one, you're going to develop better stories. You're going to have better lessons. And then the third thing is the most important thing. How are you going to sell this puppy? People think if they build a great course, people will just show up. In fact, the most important part that will predicate the success or failure of your coaching business, and maybe you're not thinking of it as a coaching business yet. So I'm just going to say if you're marketing something online to create an online course or program, I'm just going to call that coaching. The number one thing that will predicate the success or failure of your business is sales. And what does sales come out of? Great sales presentations. And so I want to share with you what you need to have, or the 3 parts of a great sales presentation. And this is the importance of it. I have witnessed too many. I've been speaking for 18 years now, and I've been specifically helping people with their speaking. Well, the first seminar I ever wrote was how to be a better speaker, but my whole business has just been about helping people speak has been the last 5 or 6 years. And leading up to that, one of the things before I took this on full time that broke my heart is I was helping some people out with their speaking. And I'll never forget this one woman in Vegas that I worked with. She's like, oh, I don't want to be a hard closer. I don't want to sell. I just want to speak and people will choose to work with me. And she went out of business. And she was a really good person. And I've seen so many people do this. They don't learn how to sell one-to-many. They don't learn how to sell to groups, and they go out of business. You're either going to learn how to sell on seminars or webinars, and you could build a group program and an online program, or you're not. And you can put up a sales page. A sales page is a form of selling one-to-many, but it's got to have compelling copy. It's got to have great videos. It's got to get people to want to say yes and pull up that credit card and buy what you have. If you don't put in the time and energy to learn how to sell one-to-many, you're just not going to make any money. And all the time and energy you put into building that course and filming it and editing it and all the workbooks, it's all going to go away. So what do you need to learn to do is to sell. So there's 3 parts to a great sales presentation. One, you got to have compelling content. You've got to trigger your audience. The way I picture it is in your audience, there's these 10 switches and they're in the off position. And the rule is for the light bulb to come on and the money to be exchanged, all 10 have to be switched up. Well, what most people do is they just wing it. So they get like 4 of the switches up, or they get like, it's hard for me to do my fingers, like a random 4 switches up and the rest are down. Or maybe somehow they luck out and they get all of them up except one. If one switch is down, the light bulb doesn't go off. So in your content, you have to get all the switches turned on in the right way in order for your audience to say yes. So what are some of the switches? You have to have rapport established. You have to establish that you are an authority, that you're someone who has expertise in this. You've got to be able to get them interested and hooked into listening to your presentation. You've got to be able to show social proof that what you do works. Social proof, that's another way for maybe a testimonial or a case study. Maybe you don't have a bunch of those yet. Well, at minimum, your life is probably a case study, and you've probably helped some people here and there improve their life through what you do. So you have more than you know. If you're established and you are already going, you need to be collecting a lot more. So, and then you got to give people reasons to buy. People have been trained to say no in society. People have been burned. People have had things go wrong. So instead of that, it's time for you to put everything you can into play to get people to say yes to your offer. So that means fast action bonuses, guarantees if you want to offer that, discounts if you want to offer that. What I'm a really big fan of is packaging. Blair Singer of Sales Dogs taught me this. The way you put together your offer is you figure out kind of what you want to sell, and you add to it, and you give it a price, and then you add and add and add value until you think to yourself, oh, I just cannot add that. That is too much. That is just too much value. I can't give all that. Then you give that. And when you give all of that, and you have this feeling of, oh, I am giving them so much for such a low price, then you're going to crush sales. Why are you going to crush sales? Because when you're on stage, and stage could be a seminar, webinar, whatever, when you're on stage and you say to them, here's your offer and here's how much you get, and it's only this price, emotionally, you're going to feel what a deal you're giving them. And when you feel what a deal you're giving them, they will feel what a deal you're giving them, and they will say yes. What you want to have happen in the audience, I'll never forget what happened once. I was speaking and I went through my offer and I said, hey guys, here's not the price. We're going to actually discount it to only this. A woman sitting right over here goes, oh my gosh, that's it? And so I'm looking for that reaction in the audience. I want to see and experience the audience jumping up to buy or mashing that buy now button. So I'm going to let that sink in and say some other hellos real quick. We also have John Dale Stanley has joined. Greg Town, what a long time no see. Greg came through my personal growth seminars 14 years ago, 18 years ago. Brett Bastian, welcome to the show. Good to see you guys. You guys, if you feel it's appropriate, please like and share the stream. We want to help more people, and it helps us help people. Dwayne Segura. Hey, Dwayne, good to see you, my man. And Carl Pride. Carl Pride said, right. Carl, oh, let me get that comment up there. Laura says, hi. And Carl says, right. Carl, you got to let StreamYard know who you are in order for your face and image to pop up there. So it's good to see you guys. And then Betsy's here. She's only going to be on for like 1 second to say hi. You'll say hi.
Yes, of course. Hello.
So not that I don't want her on. I don't know if she wants to be on. Did you want to be on today? Or are you good over there?
Sure, I can be on.
Oh, cool. I'm
Let
going to be like,
adjust myself.
I'm going to be monopolizing the conversation a lot. So do you guys, if you have questions as I'm going, please pop on any questions you might have. I'm happy to answer those as we go. So let's recap. If you want to get digital, if you want to get online, start coaching one-to-one, start mapping out what people need, and then you've got to get a sales presentation together. And then who are you going to sell to? Well, one of the things, are you trying to come this way?
I'm trying to come this way.
Come on over.
Thanks,
Come this way. How's that? Is that better?
I think so. Yes.
So then how do you know what people will buy and who you're going to sell to? Well, there's a couple of things you can do, but one is just start talking about the stuff. Just start getting on live, and then just start reaching out to groups of people who might need what you've got, and see how you could be of value, and then start doing one-on-one conversations, start hosting live, start hosting Zooms. And then, is there a guarantee to know what people will want? No, but it will come up a lot. Or if you ask enough people, what are your challenges? What are your goals? You're going to discover it. Did you want to add anything?
No, I was just going to mention just that. I was like, yep, you've already covered it. You know, if you can just ask people, then you will know.
Perfect. Good. So check out the stream, see who else is up here. All right, cool. You guys, please say hi and like and share the stream. It really helps a lot. Plus, it's encouragement for me. So talk to the audience for a minute. I want to reference I had some notes taken I want to share with you guys too. So the 3 parts of a compelling, profitable presentation, great content. I talked about the switches. Next is delivery. You've got to get your audience laughing and crying. You've got to touch their heart, and you have to be entertaining and tell story. Well, let me rewind. You don't have to do anything. If you want to make sales, this is what you'll do. The formula for delivery, and you can track how good your delivery is, how many times does your audience laugh, and how many times do they get like a misty tear in their eye. If you get no laughs and no tears, you might get some sales, but not many. If, on the other hand, you can get people laughing and crying, you're going to get a whole lot of sales. Thank you. We got 2 likes now total.
You know, that reminds me, I haven't pressed my like button.
Mash that like button, baby. So, you guys, by the way, Betsy is staying with me now, and that's been an unexpected and awesome thing of the corona for me and lockdown. I do want to know what's been
It's
awesome
been super
for you guys.
unexpected.
Yeah, it's been
And
super unexpected, right? Like way unexpected.
a lot of unexpected has happened, right? I mean, if you look at the last 60 days, the last 30 days, so much unexpected. Today was a nice day, and that had been unexpected.
It's gorgeous here
I'm
today.
excited. I am so excited.
Yep.
So what else can I talk about?
I got time to look at my notes. That was a good cover. Thanks. So now we're up to, that was a horrible. Do you know the secret to high-fiving?
I don't.
You don't for real?
It's something about looking somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay.
You look at their elbow. You never miss. Did you look at my elbow?
Kind of.
See how much better than a high five was?
I just learned how to high five.
Yeah. You want to know that though, because guys, when you're coming on stage and like once live events come back and you walk on stage to high five and people do this, they'll go like, and like it's so awkward. What's that one you do? Turkey?
Yeah, turkey.
Betsy does this one time to time.
Turkey. And then the backhanded high five.
No, I can talk about that one. So anyway, you guys get the point. So all right, so now let's talk about, so we're talking about your profitable presentation and what needs to be there. So what else needs to be there is, honey, I didn't have your name because I wasn't sure you'd be on the show. Sorry.
Oh, you're
so
fine.
You got to have compelling content, dynamic delivery where you get people laughing and crying. And then here's the most important part. And here's really the thing I wanted to share about on the stream today. It's you. You are the most important part of a profitable presentation. You are the most important part of your business, and you are the most important part of the way your sales will go. The way you are, if you are off, your sales will be off. If you are on, your sales will be on. If you are off, your delivery will be off. If you are on, your delivery will be on. We can give you you could get the perfect gestures, you could get the perfect script, but if your heart's not in it and you're not on, you will get no sales at all. And remember, if you missed the beginning of the call, I started by saying that I was like this and I've been up and down. And so the days and moments when I'm off, nothing is happening in my business. And the days and moment I'm consistent, I'm on, a lot is happening. And so what I want to share with you is what's going on right now and how you can get through this time. And my first time speaking, I'm not going to tell you the whole long story, but basically my first time speaking is I was having lunch with my boss and he's like, hey, I just spoke the night before somewhere. And he's like, hey, you did good on a small stage. Let's see how you do on a real stage. And he's like, I'm going to put you on tonight in front of 500 people. And I had like just a few hours notice. And so long story short, I'm in the restroom and I'm doing my deep breathing exercises. And a guy came in the restroom and said that the headliner wasn't there. And that's the guy I'm filling in for. And the guy says, yeah, did you hear this headliner is not here? What do you think about it? And I said, well, I don't know. What do you think? And the guy goes, I think it sucks. And so this guy literally moments before I'm supposed to get on stage comes in the bathroom and says it sucks that I'm there and not my boss. And in that moment, did you want to say something?
No, I don't know.
In that moment, I had massive fear and massive trepidation. And in your life, haven't you had a moment with massive fear and massive trepidation? Hasn't there been a moment in your life when things were so extremely difficult, you had no idea how you'd get through? And so here's my question for you, and here's my encouragement for you. Whatever happened in that moment, whatever life lesson you learned in that moment is truly the life lesson that probably carries you through today. And it's the life lesson that the rest of the world needs to hear right now. So I don't know what your moment was. I don't know where you were. I don't know what your life lesson was. And I know this. That is a part of who you are today. And that's what you're really selling. You might think you're selling internet marketing. The life lesson that got you through some incredibly hard time of your life, that's what you're truly selling. So for me, what I truly sell is this. In that moment in the restroom, I was faced with a choice. I was either going to back out because I was terrified. This guy just came in and said it sucked. I had never spoken on a stage that big. or I was going to face my fear, move through my fear, and go for it. And what allowed me to go for it in that moment was two things. First, I had done a lot of personal growth, and I had many times where I was terrified, but in a safe environment, like stepping up to the microphone in front of 125 people, Landmark Forum, at a Turning Point by Marshall Silver, eating fire, at an Anthony Robbins program, walking across fire, at Brian Clemmer and Associates, going up a 60-foot ladder and then jumping off in the middle of the redwood forest, being harnessed in. So I'd had many, many, many times where I was safe and protected, but I got to feel the fear, and in the space of that fear, say yes and take a step. And that's one of the things that I do is I say yes and take a step, say yes and take a step. When you don't know what to do, say yes and take the step you can. So I had practiced many times. So one of the things I sell, and in everything we do, we incorporate this, we incorporate personal growth into what we do. Second thing I sell is I'm in that restroom and I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to go on stage. And I prayed and I realized God's got me. No matter how it turns out, God's got my back, and that God will love me, and that God thinks I'm enough, and he'll be there for me. Then I realized I'm either going to go out on that stage and I'm going to rock it, or I'm going to go out on that stage and I'm going to learn something that will make me better. But no matter what, I'm going to go out on that stage and I'm going to give it my best. And I'm going to take a step towards becoming the man I want to be and the person I want to be. And I'm going to face my fear and I'm going to move through it. And no matter what, I'm still going to be loved because God's going to love me. And so what solidified for me in that moment was knowing God will have me. And so when I think about every tough, challenging yes I've had to give in my entire life, it has been because God's got me. And I could say yes to it and move through it because I trusted on the other side, one way or the other, everything was going to work out all right. So that's what I sell. And in everything I do, personal growth and conditioning is a part of it. Being able to say yes and move through fear is a part of it. And then having faith in God is a part of it. Like that, it permeates me. And so now I told you guys I was like this. Now we're starting to go like this again. And the reason why is because I'm not stuck in this fear. Now what I'm doing is I'm going back to that breakthrough I had before, going back to my core lessons. And I'm like, all right, no matter what happens, God's got me. You know, we're about to invest a whole bunch of money into marketing online. You know what? No matter what, God's got me. I'm going to be loved. I'm going to be okay one way or the other. Yeah. And marketing and spending $1,000 a month, I've never done it before, but it's really the fear from it is no different than the fear of climbing up that rope and jumping off. It's just taking that leap of faith and trusting that everything's going to be okay. You know, and if it doesn't work out, what's the worst that's going to happen, you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm selling. What are you guys selling? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you guys are selling, or send me a private message. Let me know what it is that you're selling, what it is that you're up to. What's the life lesson that carried you through some tough times? Were you going to click comments?
I want to add that maybe you can also comment, what is one of the things that's like, I just have to jump off. I can just jump off. Like that, I just have to say yes to this. What are you holding back from saying yes to?
Yeah, she said yes to moving to Boise. How's it been since you moved here?
It's been great. Jase asked me the other day, so how do you feel about Boise now that you've been here for a while? And I'm like, it's kind of quiet.
Well, everything's quiet now, but yeah, it is quiet here, especially compared to Houston.
It's just,
I never thought I'd
we're
like
in
a small
these
town.
4 walls.
Yeah, our excitement's going for walks. So we do have some questions coming in. I'm going to answer these. So, by the way, in the distance now, it is such a gorgeous day. I'm looking over here, and the sun is out. It's probably 60-something degrees. It's sunny, so when you're in the sun, it's warm. But there's still snow in the mountains, and I can see the snow in the mountains in the distance. It's just gorgeous. So let's go to your questions. Facebook user says, let me see. By the way, some shout outs to Melissa Danielson joined. Deanna Jackson, hi. Isaac Murphy, hey. Brett, good to see you. Greg Town, we said hi. Chris, good joined. Good to see you, Chris. All right, someone said, Carl said, I have a course that has been very successful in person, and now I'm converting it to online.
Congrats, Carl.
Yes, Carl. I love Carl, by the way. Carl shot some promo videos for me before, and he is such a loving, good heart, and he comes from the world of personal growth. What do you think of using easels or PowerPoint? So, Carl, I assume you mean in your course. So I'm a big fan of whatever lets you flow the best. Now, here's the biggest secret I will give you guys for recording product, especially if it's going to have video. Now, you may or may not be able to do this today, but do what you can. So the first time I was recording my audio, the studio was going to charge me, I think, around $1,800 plus editing, around $2,000, $2,500. So what I did is I sold 4 seats at $500 each that people could come watch me record live. And so they came in, and then I had a live studio audience. So now instead of just talking to a microphone, I'm actually talking to people. So in my home study course, it had the energy and the excitement of live, yet the quality recording and professionalism of a studio. So there's no background coughing and people talking and all that crap, right? And what's that?
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. And so that basically paid for my recording. And so then sometimes too, if you're going to record in a studio or on a camera with a person, you want to make sure you find someone who is really engaged in pulling it out of you. Because I've done recordings before where literally the person clicks record on the mic, on the camera, and then they go, and then they start looking at their phone. And you're like, you're delivering this heartfelt message, the work of your life, and then they're checking their. It's very disconcerting. Now, Carl, on the other hand, who asked the question that I love, Carl is like this. He's like hanging on your every word. So when Carl's filming me, I'm like, I want to share more, you know, and that's what I look for in a film crew, people that will pull it out of you. So now, having said all that, you may or may not be able to, you know, have a live studio audience today, but what you can do, depending on what you're recording with, at least get one person. Now, Betsy is a real blessing because she'll come in and she'll listen. And I don't know if she's tired of hearing me talk or not, but she'll listen as if she's interested.
Always interested.
Thank you. See, that's smart. So then I'm more on fire when I deliver. So get someone, and it's rare that it's your spouse that's really interested. They've already heard your crap. You know, the worst person to try out new humor and content on is a spouse. You want to try it on people who are a little Sonia. So what you could do though is put someone on it. So I have this other computer over here where I told you guys I'm monitoring the streams and all that. So I could, if I was recording into this computer, I could ask, hey, will you come listen and be like an engaged audience, or find someone who will do that will be on here that will be like, you know, like hang on your every word. Or perhaps you could do it on a Zoom and sell some seats and mute everybody else, record, and then unmute and take questions. And then, and I like the live, and this goes back to what I said earlier, because you get better at teaching it when you teach it live, because when you get questions, when you tell stories. And then, so going back to the flip chart, Carl, having said all that, if it helps your brain to write on a flip chart while you teach, then go ahead and do it. I think whatever looks great for you. The only challenge with the flip chart can be sometimes if the camera angles aren't right, it's kind of hard to see what's on it. And then also, I have found writing in a flip chart doesn't typically show up as well on the camera as it does on the flip chart. Having said all of that, if you can get the angles right and it works for you, then do it. Depending on what you're teaching, you can use the whiteboard in Zoom. I'm not a fan of that though for a product because it's really hard to draw. It looks very
childlike.
Yeah, it looks very, because it's so hard to draw on the trackpad.
Because you can't show your wonderful handwriting.
Yeah, it's not as good unless you're just typing stuff out. So in that case, or have someone put graphics in post-production would be the way to do it. So if you look at my my thing, I did change your markers in that video that you've seen that before, Carl. There's a combination of me writing on a whiteboard, and then also we put graphics into it, like, you know, overlays and bottom thirds and things like that. So, and then thank you, good question, Carl. And then Isaac says, love this story. Thank you, Isaac Murphy. Good to see you, my man.
I have to say hi to Isaac. Hello, Isaac. I've been seeing some of your posts. It's fantastic to see you out there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Carl says, what's your offer? I don't know what you mean, but here's what I have for this. Here's what I have for you guys is I want to help more people. So I'm doing this. You could, and I'll put it in the comments as well. But if you go to go.worldclassspeakeracademy.com/schedule, I'm doing free one-on-ones to see how I can help you. I will, in the half hour, I'll give you whatever content I can to help you on your way. And if it's a fit for us to do more together to help you on your way, then I'll do that as well. Here's why I'm doing this is, and this is the why of the company. This isn't new to this time of Corona. This is why I do what I do. I think that you were born with a God-given mission. I think if you're watching this, there's something in your heart that you want to bring to the world. I think that you were made for a time like this. And I really, really, really believe like everybody is born with something they want to do, something that's really important to bring to the world. And so my theory is this: if I can help you impact your corner of the world, and I help Betsy impact her corner, and I impact my corner, and I help Bob impact his corner, and Mary impact her corner, and someone else impact their corner of the world, then together we're going to change the world. And the number one fastest way to do that is public speaking. It's doing seminars and webinars. And so what I want to do is help you learn how to harness the power of public speaking so you could change your corner of the world, and together we make the world a better place. Also, public speaking is the number one fastest way to grow your business. So what's that mean to you and me? That means if we learn to master public speaking and we do seminars or webinars, you impact way more people and you make a whole lot more money really, really fast.
I love it. It's just getting your voice out there.
Yeah. It's really about, we say make a difference and make a lot of money. It's really about changing the world. And here's what's cool. When you speak, you change three things. One, you change the world. You make a difference in the world. Like you make the world a better place. Two, you make a difference in your business. Your business gets so many more clients. You get more satisfaction because you're helping people and you make a lot more money. And the third surprising one, far too few people realize, is you change you. Who you have to become to change the world through speaking, you've got to do the work on yourself, and you've got to make yourself a better human outside in and inside out. Because when you step on stage, you can only hide stuff for so long. You got to do the work to make a best you, because who you are on stage magnifies. So I love it. You change the world, you change your business, and you change you. So if you're interested, click on that link that I'll put in, or just type that in. And then we have a private question came from Jim. Jim said, are you using StreamYard for the Facebook video? Yes, this app I'm using right now is called StreamYard. It lets us push to multiple things, and then we can do these cool overlays and things like that. So
we really like StreamYard. Definitely do.
Yeah, StreamYard is pretty cool. So let me put this thing in here so you guys can click this link while we're talking. Anything you want to say, hon? Someone said, oh, yeah, you want to show that one? So what's here is cool StreamYard too. We can do this, make the comments pop up. I love your heart and I love you. Thank you. I don't know who said that, but let me, it's probably Carl.
Let me
It was Carl.
that.
Thanks, Carl.
Let me package what Carl mentioned about love your heart. It's whenever you speak, whenever you want to impact others, whenever you want to build a webinar, you want to make a Zoom, you want to go live on Facebook, what really matters, what will impact people is offering your heart. As you speak, you offer your heart, you put yourself in this vulnerable state of, people might think this, people might think that. And it's whenever you put the fear behind you and say, yes, you're putting your heart out there, and that's really what matters. So I just wanted to thank Carl for making that comment and for allowing me the opportunity to be able to say that.
I love you. Tammy says, thanks, Jase. You're welcome, Tammy. And you know what's interesting about this, about who's on here? Almost everybody who's commented, Carl's comments, I met at a workshop working on becoming better business people. Tammy, I met when I was in Portland speaking at an event. It's some of the neatest people that I've had the longest relationships with have come out of speaking. There's a really secret thing I've been starting to share more and more in my presentations. And when you speak, you meet the coolest people because you're the speaker. And so you're positioned. It's really easy for people to go, hey, it's so nice. I met Betsy when I was speaking. And it made it really easy for Betsy to come over and go, "You are so handsome."
It really did. It really did. Super easy.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were like, "Give me crap." It made me sound so arrogant.
No, I said it, you know.
That's actually what happened. That was our first conversation. I just got so red.
Breathe, baby, breathe.
I got the vapors. Jessica Sullivan says, "Me, Jessica, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you forever." Tammy says, "Hearty face." Oh, thanks, Tammy. But seriously, so you meet people, and I don't mean like picking up women, obviously. Although when I was single, that worked. But what I mean more though, like friends and stuff, and like some of my favorite humans, because who comes to events typically? People want to prove themselves. People are up to something big in life. And then when you're the speaker, you get to meet them all in a way. And then you get to hang out with the other speakers in the green room. And so it's just such a nice way to do it. So when I say you change 3 things, you change the world, you change your business, you change you, that helps for all 3 of those. And the more awesome people you meet, the better your life gets. So you guys, I'm so glad you tuned in. If you have questions, please pop them in. I'll answer them now or on a future thing. If you want to book a one-on-one, please click that link I put in the comments. Yes. And I don't know, what do you want to add, honey?
No, just thank you for watching. If you haven't caught the entire video, it's pretty short, so you can go back and rewatch it, plug in your phones, and do what you have to do around the house, and then just soak it all in. What else?
I think that's it. This would be a fairly fast one.
Joanne just started watching. Hello, Joanne.
Hello, Joanne. So you get a free one-on-one with Jase here. Just click that link, you guys. It'll take you right into my schedule. And it's not going to be, it'll be just really, it's going to be me serving you to see how can I help you out. And then if there's a fit for us to work together to take it to the next level, then we'll do that as well. And it's really about you changing the world. Joanne says, Hi, Joanne. It is so good to see you. You guys, if you want tips about keeping your house going, Auntie JoJo Helps. Yes. Search for Auntie JoJo Helps on Facebook, Instagram. I love shouting out. Auntie JoJo is one of our clients and also dear friends. Tammy says, take care of you too. And can I share this offer with another? Yes, share this offer with everyone who is a speaker. Here's who you can share it with. People who want to make a difference and want to make a lot of money. That's who you could share that with.
I could use some help.
Yes, and ideally it's people who want to do both, because here's what I've found. If people just want to make money, they're not going to be the right person for me, because that's not my heart. Now, I'm okay if they just want to make a difference as long as they're coachable to learn to make a lot of money. Because what happened for me was after God moved in my life and made this difference in my life, I just wanted to help everybody. I'm like, I'm just going to help people. And this $2,500 seminar, I made it only $10, and my sales went down, and I was quickly going broke, about to get evicted, blah, blah, blah. And it's just not a good model. And then I read this article about these people that were doing this magazine. It was a faith-based magazine. They're like, we're just going to give it away and trust God will provide. They're like, we were quickly going out of business. And so I read the words that changed my life. They said, so we started charging a subscription. Now we have the money to run the business, but now we also reach more people. And what they said was because people were paying the subscription, they were more likely to read it and they valued it. So people who want to make a difference and make a lot of money, when you make a lot of money, you now have more money to market, to make a bigger difference, to hire more people, to shift culture. I call it I-cubed. You get impact people's lives. You will get more income from them because they'll spend with you. And then you have more money to influence and shape culture and society. And then as you do that, it multiplies and grows. So we want people who want to make a difference. And then when they make a lot of money, they can make a bigger difference. Plus they can market and they have more stability. And guys, you can't give money to the poor when you're one of them. So when you make more money, you have a lot more money to give and share and to guide where it goes. So that's what we want, is people want to make a difference and make a lot of money. And then Joanne says, I'm launching a fun 20-minute organizational challenge soon. Oh, I love it. That's super cool. I love it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. It has been super great to see you. And I just want to leave you with this. Whether or not you believe it, whether or not you know it right now, here's the thing. You were born to make a difference. And there's someone today who is just dying to hear from someone like you. And truly, you could be the answer to a prayer. Because right now, someone is sitting there going, God, I don't know what to do. Will you send someone to help me? God, I'm so lost. Will you send somebody? And you could be someone who just makes a difference. And there's been so many times in my life where I was like, God, I just don't know the next turn. And it came in the form of a coach or a program, and that like got me over that obstacle, over that hurdle, and helped my life immensely. And so that's why my life is about this now, is I just know the value of it. And I know that you're next, and that it's your time to take your place in line and be the next person who does it. And so I want to finish this with a quote. It's by a guy named Stephen Pressfield, and I highly recommend you guys get this. It's called a book. It's called The War of Art, and not the art of war, the war of art. And so Pressfield wrote The Legend of Bagger Vance, and he's had many, many top hit books. And so here's what he wrote. I might cry when I read this because I just love it so much.
I love it.
So he talks about being a writer. One of the things Pressfield talks about is that, you know, a writer is a form of an artist, but we're all artists. Like I see my speaking and crafting of seminars as an art. So Lisa says, thank you. I'm glad you were there. Thanks, Lisa. That means a lot. You go, Jase. Thanks, Lisa. I will go. So actually, last shout outs before we go, and then I'm going to wrap with this. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. Please do like and share the stream. It really helps us out. It means a lot. So Diane Webb, good to see you. Thanks for joining in, Diane. And Vince was another example. Vince, I met 18 years ago. He was one of the first people to come through my courses ever. And then he wound up being a coach with us, and now he's kicking butt. You know, have you ever seen those custom wood pen that I have? Vince made it. He makes these beautiful stuff. So here's what I have, you guys. Here's what Pressfield says. Are you born a writer? Were you put on earth to be a painter, a scientist, an apostle of peace? In the end, the question can only be answered by action. And let me back up real quick. What he's saying is, when we get stuck in producing our art, when we get stuck in speaking, when we get stuck on, am I good enough, all of that, he's answering that question. So let me rewind. Were you put on earth to be a painter, a scientist, an apostle of peace? In the question, the answer can only be answered by action. Do it or don't do it. It may help to think of it this way. If you are meant to cure cancer or write a symphony or crack cold fusion and you don't do it, you not only hurt yourself, you even destroy yourself. But you also hurt your children. You hurt me, and you hurt the planet. You shame the angels who watch over you, and you spite the Almighty, who created you and only you with your unique gifts for the sole purpose of nudging the human race 1 millimeter further along its path back to God. Creative work is not a selfish act or a bid for attention on the part of the actor. It's a gift to the world and every being in it. Don't cheat us of your contribution. Give us what you've got. Right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely so.
You shame the angels who watch over you, and you spite the Almighty who created you and only you with your unique gifts for the sole purpose of nudging the human race 1 millimeter further on its path back to God. That's who you were made to be. That's what you were made to be. We love you. We're honored to be a part of your life. And if you want to see how we can help you launch to the level you're made to be at, click that link. We'll see you guys next week on Speakeasy.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.